got tired. And that's all right. Because when Gideon's people got tired and they had to leave some of them behind, then the mothers went on and got the battle, right? But they won anyway. And now some of them who was with the winners say, don't give nothing to them ones who's dropped off the side. Didn't it? Didn't they say that? But Gideon said, no, we ain't like that. We're going to cover them. Come on. How many know you can become battle weary? You can come battle weary. All right? So that's all right. But there is a few that God can still get the victory with. Hallelujah. There's still a few. So he says, march around the wall. Let's circle it once. You should do this once each day for 6 days. Then also the 7 priests shall carry the 7 trumpets made of ram's horns ahead of the ark. Then on the 7th day, I want you to march around 7 times. And then I want the priests to blow the trumpets. And I want them to make a long blast sound with those ram's horns. And when you hear the sound of the trumpet, I want all the people, not some of y'all, but all to cry, a battle cry, a great shout. And the walls of the city, I'm telling you that, I don't care how fortified it is. I don't care how fortified the enemy has set up something against us, they will fall down. And it says it's going to fall down in its place, and the people shall go up, each man going straight ahead, climbing over the rubber. You're going to be able to step over the thing that was trying to stop you. Step over the people that said you weren't going to get it. Come on, somebody ought to just step. You just say, I'm about to step over it. Hallelujah. Step over it. Hallelujah. So I just want you to know, first of all, it's been shut up, but it's got to fall down. It's got to fall down. It's got to. Is that a promise? It's a promise. So I grabbed that. I said, that's for us. That's for us. Now I want you to go over to Acts chapter number 12. Acts chapter number 12. And I want you to find out, because I don't know how I got all these scriptures. They just on here. Hallelujah. They're going to be good, though. I know when I read them, they're going to come out. Because there is a certain kind of spirit. The spirit of Herod is the spirit that we must attack. The spirit of Herod is a vexing spirit. A spirit of vexation. All right? A spirit of vexation is a spirit that brings annoyance. It's annoying you. Anybody been frustrated lately or worried, especially with trivia matters? Just in a state of, just my soul is vexed, just always on edge. Anybody? Do I have the right crowd? All right, well, it's a spirit of Herod, really, that ultimately has a desire to kill you. If you've been irritated, angry, inflamed, people irking you, come on, upset, somebody's nerves are bothered, you're just agitated, fussing, and you don't even know why you're fussing. Come on. Anybody ever been in the house, been with somebody, y'all just go in there and you say, well, what we fighting about? I'm going to tell you, it's a spirit. It's a spirit that of vexation. Look at Acts chapter number, verse number 1 of chapter 12. Look at here. It says, it's now about the time Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex. Look here. He on purpose say, I'm going to vex certain of the church. I'm looking in the church. The enemy's looking at here right now trying to figure, who can I vex? And you done had church and all that. You get home, he's going to vex. Who can I get? All right? Verse number 2. And this is what his vexation led to. He killed James, who was the brother of John, with a sword. Now, he's dead. And because he saw that it pleased the Jews, do you not know people hate? Come on, y'all. They was happy he was dead. And when the king saw that everybody was happy with it, look what he did. He proceeded further to kill Peter also. But it was Easter time. It was unleavened bread. It was a celebration going on. So he says, I can't kill you on this day, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to apprehend you. I'm going to lock you up. Come on. He put him in prison. And that's where the enemy starts. This spirit starts with imprisonment. of your hopes, your dreams, your desires. And he delivered him to 4 quadrants of soldiers to keep him. He said, I'm putting a guard on you to keep you locked down, intending that after Easter, I'm going to kill you. Now, look at the mentality. If somebody came up here and said, you know what? I'm going to kill you and Pastor Edwin. And so he kills him first. Then he tell me I'm next. Look, how many know that wasn't no threat? Because he done killed him. It's a whole nother thing to say I'm going to kill you and don't do it. But he done already started it. Come on. So, I'm next. This is Peter having seen, and now he's got to wait. He's got to wait because he knows he's next. But look at it. Look what happened. Look at his disposition. And it came, verse number next. All right, where am I? 5. Peter, therefore, was kept in prison. But look, what's the solution? But what happened? But what? Prayer was made how? No, not without ceasing. By whom? To whom? For whom? I want to share you something with you. The enemy is after everybody, but he's after the pastors. Peter was a pastor of the church. Pastor Peter, the enemy is trying to lock down leadership. See, when God showed me that right there, when I told y'all about all the times when I'm getting ready to minister and stuff, he said, you better, Alma, find you some intercessors. You better find somebody whose number one job ain't to do nothing but pray for you. Because when that spirit come, I'm telling you, the antidote, the thing that's going to ward off is prayer. The reason many of us are where we are in the church is because it becomes prayerless. When you stop praying, this spirit comes to hunt. When you feel locked down, I'm telling you, prayer is the answer. It says you might be locked up. I might not have access, but I'm going to pray and I ain't going to stop. All right? I'm going to keep praying. And so it goes on here. Let me tell you this. There are 3 realms. Do I want to tell you about that first? Because I got notes everywhere. Can somebody ask? And here it is. And when Herod would have brought him forth, what happens? The same night, Peter was doing what? Sleeping when he knew he's on death row. I mean, this ain't no threat. He saw it happening. He's sleeping between 2 soldiers who's got all kind of armor, bound with chains. Say, I'm not just going to put you behind bars. I'm going to put chains, and I got guards on you. And then there are some keepers that's at the door that's keeping the prison. My Lord. They really would say he thought he was going to get out. I'm telling you why, because the reputation that they had. Let me tell you, do you have a reputation where the enemy's got to bring the big guns out? My Lord. He said, I just can't get no little chains on him because he has a reputation of deliverance. But I don't care what the devil put on you. God knows how to get through all that. I'm going to show you. He knows how to get through all that. Don't let the devil scare you. He's scared of you. Don't you be scared of him. Isn't it somebody say with dogs, they know when you're afraid of them? They can smell fear. So you could be afraid, but you act like you're not, and then you can go on. I'm going to tell you, the enemy knows fear too. And when he sees fear, he knows there is no faith. My Lord. I'm telling you, that spirit is loose too. I've been fighting that spirit. Fear. Fear will torment you. My Lord. Say, we bind the spirit of fear. So Herod says, I'm going to bring you forward. But Peter said, I'm going to sleep. You can do whatever you want to do. And verse number 7 say, and the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison. And he smote Peter on the side and say, hey, Pete, I'm here to rescue you. Get up. When God gets ready to get you out, you better get up. You better get up. You better, when he, I mean, just a little way to try, just a little escape. Get up. And what happened? The chains fell off of his hands. They had his hands on lockdown. Some of you not working in ministry because the enemy got your hands on lockdown. If you just get up and start, they'll fall off you. Oh, my God. We're waiting to say fall off first. He says, no, get up first. My Lord. When you get up, just like that man who called me on that phone today. He's sitting down waiting. All this whole side of his body is weak. He praying and carrying on. No, it said get up and go to walking and go bowling. And while you getting to moving, then strength comes. Do for yourself what you can do. God ain't going to do for you what you can do for you. Oh, Lord. So he says, get up quickly. And the chains fell off his hand. And the angel said to him, gird yourself. Put your own clothes on. And put your own sandals on. So he did. He didn't say, well, where we going? And the angel said to him, cast your garment about thee and follow me. Get ready. I'm about to break out. It's a breakout. And so he says he went out and followed him. And what's not that it was true, which was done by the angel. He thought he was seeing a vision. He said, is this really? I'm telling you, when God brings you out, the way he brings you out, sometimes you tell me, is this really real? Did he really do that? With this little few, how did he do that? So he's questioning even if it's the real because of the way God's bringing him out. Verse 10, when they were past the first and second ward, I mean, they had him deep down, locked down. All right? They came to an iron gate that led to the city, which opened to them of his own accord. It just, see, when you got moving, the door opened. Access was granted. Oh, my God. And they went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angels departed from him. I see the angel's going to do only what you could not do. He could not open up the gates, doing none of that, but he had to follow him. Come on. Do you see obedience? Do you see the boldness that it took to do this? Because he knew he had to walk through. I'm telling you, ain't nobody, I guarantee you, ain't nobody else saw the angel but him. So while he's walking through, ain't none of them, if they would have awakened, all right, he was dead meat. Come on, y'all. It take boldness to obey God. It take boldness to walk against fear. And can I put a pin right there? That's verse number 11. Remember, that's where I'm going to come back to. But I want to tell you this. There are 3 different realms of answered prayer. All right, 3 realms where prayer is answered. It's the human will, the realm of the human will, the realm of the angelic, and then there is the realm where there is the sovereign will of God. All right, human intervention. All right, the realm of the human will. God will sometimes entrust your answer to people. When you pray, sometimes he'll entrust it to people. But you and I we have to pray people free. There are some things that people had for you, and you was been supposed to get it, but they overlooked it. All right? But God put the power and the means in that person to answer your prayer. But because they just ignored it, your prayers are hung up and shut up. So you have to pray them free. This week I was working on something, and I went in to ask permission for a place and some things I was working on. And the person I was talking to had the power and the means to do what I asked for. But they were like, I ain't doing it. They wasn't trying to do anything to help me. But previously, the previous Saturday, I had run into that person's boss, unknowingly of my own accord. And while I'm asking the person, come on, he walks by. And I told that person that I had met this certain person, and she realized it was her boss. And he's like waving his hand in, and everything just like changed. little bit later, passed a little forward. So I started seeing the door start cracking. I went away, came back another day. That day I came in, still was hard-hearted. I'm going to do something for you, but they didn't want to do it then. But had the power to do it right then, to pick up the phone, make the call, and it would be so. But position, whatever, it didn't do it. But I began to have a conversation with that person, and they were saying how tired they were. And I started saying, yeah, I've been up about 4 hours studying, preparing for a message I have to do. And I started telling them about the message. And while I started telling them about the story, that person just broke out in tears. Just head down, door open. It didn't matter, just. So I get up, I put my hand on that person's shoulder, and I begin to pray for them. And when I laid my hands on that person's shoulder, and I finished praying, I sat down, that person said, let me tell you what's going on. That person had a son who had a brain aneurysm back in 2017, and that person has been through the ringer with the insurance, the whole thing, on hospice, all of that. And that day, come on, y'all, that day he was supposed to come home. The day I walked in, he was supposed to come home, but when they went to get him, he had an infection and could not. But she's carrying all of that. Come on, y'all. But God sent me there, come on, y'all, with the prayer. And that prayer prayed her through. When we got through, she had picked the phone. Everything they said they wasn't going to do, they did. Everything. Access granted. They say, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it but for 3 months. Then they went up saying, I ain't doing it for 4 months. And then when I left out there, they say, I said I wanted to do it for 12 months. They say, you could do it to 2020 of May. That's 12 months. Plus a month. Prayers, ladies and gentlemen, there are people, the human will of a person can be changed with a prayer. With a prayer. Your no can turn to a yes with a prayer. Come on, y'all. There are people that's passing up your resume right now who has the power to choose your resume. But if you would pray them free to obey God, you got to pray people free to obey God. See, we don't understand the power in our prayer. The thing, God, the Bible says the heart of a king or the one in authority is in the hands of God. And like rivers of water that's shifting this way and then that way, God says, I can turn the tides in your direction. My God. That's why God says promotion don't come from the east or the west. It comes from God. Oh, Lord. Can we just pray? Some things have changed. That's the human will of a person that told me no one moment and yes the next. That wasn't me. That was the power of prayer. But me understanding the power I possess to change my situation. Come on, you got power to change. Oh, God, you got power. Say, I got power to change my situation. Not only does God answer prayer through other people, the human will of other people, but he answers prayer through the realm of angelic assistance. Now, I just read it to you. Peter was in prison. It took the angel. Come on. Now also, we know in Daniel, chapter number 10, remember? Daniel prayed the prayer. God says, you got it, son. It's on the way from the heavens to the earth. And there was a satanic intervention and interference that stopped it, blocked it for 21 days. But the angels of the Lord, by the name of Michael, a warring angel, is bigger and badder than any principality or power that's suspended over your life. I'm telling you, this is what this church needs. We need the warring angels, the fighting angels of heaven to fight on our behalf. But it's going to take us to activate them. They're waiting on God's word on our lip to get busy on our behalf. But they got to come from a war to war. That same spirit that they have, we have to have. That knowing of the power that we possess to make a difference and change the situation. You can't come in here begging and crying and acting like I don't know what I'm doing. You can't just be reading something and just calling it out just because you say it. You got to know that when I speak, things happen. God tells Daniel, he says, the very day you asked, I sent the answer. But there were principalities over Persia that prevented your answered prayer from getting to you. But if the angels of the Lord come on your behalf, tell me you know it's over. It's over. So God uses angels. Not only that, God uses the sovereign will of himself. God will just step in and do something that, he just does it because he want to do it. The example I thought about here, the prayer of my mom and my daddy for me, for healing. There was no intervention for nothing. The day the man of God said I was healed was the day God just healed me. The prayer was answered. God will do some things just because. I asked God this week, God, would you do something just to encourage my heart? I asked God, would you do something just to encourage my heart about my leadership of this body and what to do? And God called this man to call me up in this church this morning. Oh, y'all ain't happy. I don't care. But he said to me, I'm going to tell you something that I wasn't going to say nothing. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to listen to you, and I will be a part of your church. He's a man. My question is, will men follow me? Am I a ministry? This is my question to God. Am I a ministry or am I a church? Am I a pastor? I'm just open and naked for y'all. This is major right here, what I'm trying to do here. Because I don't know who I can count on. See, I'm asking God, who are the mighty men that's supposed to walk with? If I'm the lead, who are my mighty men that's in the trenches with me? Every one of you will tell me, Pastor Alma, I'm with you. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about membership. I'm talking about warriorship. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about, Pastor Alma, tell me what to do, I do. I'm talking about somebody say, let's sit here and figure out what we need to do. There is a whole difference. There's a whole nother level of weight. When you lead anything, you got to know who is your cabin, who is in this fight with you. Hell, high water, no water, low water, when everything is going wrong, when everything is contrary to what you believe in. Is there anybody say, well, I still believe? Come on, we say, no. Let me tell you all, if for us to move forward, that has to be defined. You're asking, what are we doing? The first thing is to define, who do we have? See, there's a difference. Tell me what, let's see, I'm going to go with you. And you should have both of them. You need every part of it. You need the Marys and the Marthas. But you got to define the Marthas first. Because the Marthas prepare the food. The Marthas go to the store. The Marthas clean the house before Jesus comes. Mary want to sit at the feet. Feed me, preach to me. Who's preaching today? Come on. Not I'm going to find something to help you get to. I done looked this up. You preaching what? Here it is. Can I at least get a hand clap? Now, I understand. I understand where we are as a church. I understand how long we've been fighting. I understand the battle. I understand that. I understand every move we made. I was there first. Huh? Come on. I'm one looking for it. Huh? Come on. I'm understanding that. I understand when we move, if we no, when we move, or who gonna go. Can you take this trek? Gideon had 32,000. 10,000 of them was scared. And that's all right. Come on, that's all right. It's no nothing. That's no. But there was 300 that says, I am ready to go up against 185,000 with God. So know this. Pastor Alma is praying. God, who are the mighty men? How do we set this thing now? Okay? So how many know every time you have a major transition, you lose things along the way? Just in the natural. Just in the natural. I was moving my house. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. I don't know, because it's along the way, lost it somewhere. All right? The same with the church. But I'm a straight talker to you. Can we talk like this? Come on, preach this word, but it has to be relevant to your situation. Come on, tell somebody this is relevant to where we are right now. Come on, this is the real deal. Am I cooking for 100 or am I cooking for 5? If I have 5 at Bible study, if I got 5 at Bible study, I'm not going to be in a place that's for 100. Or do I have 50 on a Sunday, or do I have 100? Where are we? Come on, is this right out? Come on. That is the bottom line. All right? Because I want to feed who are hungry. Come on, mamas. You don't want to waste no food. Come on. And we don't have no money to waste. That's what you tell your children, right? I'm telling y'all, we don't have I don't have no energy to waste. I don't have no time to waste. Come on. 3 years from now, Bambi is going to be 60. I got 3 years to be 60. Come on, how many of you know you do things different at 60 than you did when you started at 35? Can we talk? I don't know where all this is. It's the will of God. That's what it's the sovereign will of God. This is my prayer, y'all. This is my prayer. I'm talking about prayers are answered. A part of that is dealing with the reality, come on, of what is. And so that's what we're doing. There are different ways that God answers. I'm saying, God, I'll answer however. And I know in this you got to answer with people. Human wills is involved in this. Everybody's human will is involved. Everybody's important. All right? God is involved in it, right? He's involved in it. And we sure enough need the angels helping us. Come on, call on the angels. Come on, thank God for the angels. Turn over to Matthew chapter number 17. Matthew chapter number 17. I'm not going to finish reading that other, but I should. But can I? Let me go back. What y'all told me? I told you all 11. Let's finish it then. And when Peter was come to himself, he realized this ain't no vision. This reality. He said, now I know. See, God let you go be locked down to find out now you know. See, if I never went through that stuff, that meant now I know. Now I know. Now I know how the man say, I'll be in your church. I will follow. I will listen to you. These was his words. I will listen to you when I wasn't listening before to no woman. Jesus. Ooh, I can just start dancing. I mean, I don't need no music. I can just, I don't need no music. I don't need. No, if y'all ever been in this situation to fight that battle for so long, any women in ministry know what I'm talking about? Anyways, he says, now I know for a surety that the Lord has sent his angel and had delivered me out of the hands of Herod, this vexating spirit, and from all the expectation of the people. of the Jews. And when he had considered this thing, he came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many, not a few, many were doing what? Gathered together. First of all, they was in one accord. They were unified, and they was doing what? Praying. While he was locked down, he had some intercessors praying for the pastor while he was locked down. And the pastor come to the door and start knocking on the door. And the little girl comes to the door, she peeping in the peephole. She said, oh, Lord, that's the pastor. Rhoda said, that's the Lord. That's the pastor, the Lord that delivered. And when she knew Peter's voice, she opened not the gate. She didn't even open the gate. She was so happy. She ran in. She told everybody, oh, pastor's at the door. Pastor's at the door. And they said, Lord, this girl done lost her mind. She mad. She done gone crazy. But she was consistently affirming that, honey, I'm telling you, I know his voice. I know his voice. And they said, well, maybe it's an angel. Have you ever been praying God shows up so quick or so in a certain way? You're like, already? Already? Were they not in faith? I believe they were in faith because he got out. I just believe they were just stunned at how it happened. I mean, if somebody come in out of the operating room and tells you, look, the surgery that I was supposed to do is already done, and you know you ain't had no surgery. That's what them people was like, wait a minute. Now, I know I ain't never been on no surgery table. I ain't had no surgery. God's want to do that kind of stuff. All right, and people around you, they're going to think you're crazy. All right? But Peter kept on knocking. And when they opened the door, they saw him. They were astonished. But he was saying, he said, look, shh, be quiet. Be quiet. Y'all too loud. It's spiritual. They don't know I got out yet. That's why he wanted them to be quiet. He said, go show these things to James and to the brethren. And he said, I got to leave this place. I'm getting out of here. Because how many know they was looking for him? When Herod realized he was gone, boy, everybody who was supposed to be watching him got killed. Your enemies will kill your enemies. My Lord. But he's free. I can't finish this. I want to finish it. I'm going to finish it Wednesday night. Now, I want y'all to come to Wednesday night Bible study. I knew it was going to be quiet. I knew it was. But I want y'all to come. Y'all show me you want this church. Show me that you want to be taught. Let me say, I said I was going to ask people, why you don't come? Maybe that'll help me. What do we need to do? Why don't you come?